What's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday and welcome back to my channel. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy, testing negative for all those viruses that can make us sick, and of course having a great day so far. It is time now for the Saturday Out in the Wild edition of the virus update for Saturday, November 15th, 2025. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. You just clicked onto the channel that gives you the latest news and information on all those viruses that can make us sick. Today is an Out in the Wild edition, which means I bring a bunch of notes with me, and we do talk about things that are going on out in the wild, and we do talk about some news. I hope you join me on my other videos where I also do data-filled updates at home. Want to stay informed with what's going on? Subscribe down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with anyone you know, and of course, leave your comments down below. Alrighty, before we get to my notes today, this Out in the Wild almost did not happen today, but there's a reason why it still happened. First off, woke up this morning with my usual long COVID symptoms. Yesterday, I was doing much better, felt fine, went out to work yesterday afternoon. I think I actually did a 7-hour day. Yes, 7 hours in a row. That's kind of rare. That doesn't happen a lot in the long COVID era. And then this morning, woke up, headache. Headache's back again. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not going out to do the breakfast rush this morning, which would have then led to me doing the Out in the Wild afterwards. I thought, nope, not happening. So I needed to come out to CDC and pick up some headache pills. What is this? What are we taking today? We're going to try a Acetarin extra strength headache. We'll see if that does anything. And no, I am not endorsing that drug whatsoever. It's just something I'm going to try for my headaches. I've tried it before. It does seem to work, so I figured, all right, we'll still go with the Out in the Wild update. And I gotta add this in there. We've done YouTube shorts on this before. CVS, you need to make your receipts shorter. This, my friends, is totally ridiculous. I did kind of want a receipt for this. I know you can hit no receipt or email receipt. I just, you get coupons on here, so again, it's ridiculous. I just needed one. You saw just one little thing. Just got this one little thing of headache medicine, and it leads to that. All right, some notes. Let's do my notes in reverse, since we're talking about the Out in the Wild portion first. This week in my travels, when I was out, ambulance meter. It's how often data report. That's me. Sees an ambulance, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to say a 4. I'm going to say a 4 because I have been seeing ambulances. I don't think it's not any higher yet. Trust me, post-Thanksgiving, that number's going to be much higher. Here's a number that I'm not happy about. It's going up this week. The coffee meter. We're increasing it significantly. What did we do last week? Was it 4 point something? I don't even remember. I'm going with a 6 this week. I've seen several instances where, thank goodness for the mask. Yes, I always have extra mask with me. Of course, I got a ton of mask at home, but I've seen several instances where, thank goodness I had my mask on. I saw people that were just physically coughing their heads off. I saw one guy, I was doing a shopping delivery the other day for, Uber Eats, and it was in CVS, and I was looking, yes, Uber Eats, you can do shopping orders. I just started doing them recently. I try to only do them in the less busy times. I don't like to go into these places when it's crowded, but CVS is one of the places, and let me tell you, I had to have them help me find something. The customer ordered diapers. They had to check the back. I saw this man visibly come in, sniffling, coughing. Where does he go? Right to the testing kit department. Yikes, I didn't see what testing kit he got or anything, but yeah, never a good thing. So yeah, coffee meter this week, 6. I saw people coughing last night. There's this new restaurant. It's not even a restaurant. It's a place that has multiple restaurants. Maybe you heard about this. It's called Wonder. I think it's fantastic for the COVID era that we're in right now. You could order from 20 plus different places, I think they have within just one roof, in one app. And guess what? You can have it delivered. It is exclusively with Grubhub. Well, they're trying to be exclusively with Grubhub. They actually bought Grubhub out. And get this. It's also on DoorDash, but get this. You can have it delivered straight to your door. Now, it's a little expensive, and it's not in all markets. I think they have 40 locations, and there's like a dozen that have opened up here in Southeast Pennsylvania. Good news for us drivers. I mean, it's creating a ton of orders. And good news for those who do not want to do the restaurant business. Hey, no, I mean, eating out in a restaurant with all these viruses at any time of the year, that's just like, no, right? Well, guess what? You can have the restaurant experience delivered to your door, and chefs like Bobby Flay. Now, you're hearing me mention the name Bobby Flay. Yeah, little expensive, but in the beginning, right now, there is this code that's going around, or these, if it's your first 2 orders, I believe, can be 50% off if you get that code. So if you have it in your area, New York, I believe, is where it started. It's here in the Philadelphia area. It's probably going to rapidly expand to other markets. I think it just makes sense. So I think it's going to take off. All right, we got to get to some news stories now. Enough with all the out in the wild business. This is really important. Remember yesterday we talked about a human bird flu case here in the United States? Well, there's some bad news update about that. The BNO News tweeted out, and there's other sources as well. I just used BNO News for this. The person infected with bird flu in Washington State has not H5N1. No. They do not have H5N1. They have H5N5. Yeah, already I'm going to have to educate myself on that one. They're pretty similar, but a little different here. It's the first time H5N5 has been found in a human. And we're going to be following this closely because the person previously, prior to this, had underlying health conditions. It is an older patient. They are hospitalized as far as we know right now. So this is some bad news. H5N5, for the first time, has been found in a human. And there have been some predictions out there that bird flu turns into a human pandemic at some point. I can't say yes or no to that, but obviously it is definitely a possibility at some point that bird flu just makes the crossover, and then we run into real problems. Something we will obviously have to keep an eye on. The first measles case in Salt Lake County. Yes, Salt Lake City, Utah. Salt Lake County points to potential community spread. As you know, that region of the United States has been dealing with a big outbreak of measles. Philadelphia daily EMS totals for Friday, November 14th. 741 EMS incidents were reported. And remember Cole Holcomb. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, it's Pittsburgh Steelers player. 3rd week in a row. Going to be out. There's your sports report for the weekend. I've seen a few other sports-related illnesses. Been seeing a lot of NBA illnesses where it just says illness. Sometimes I add them to the tracking thread on my website, datareport.info. Sometimes I don't, and I'll tell you why I sometimes don't add them, because sometimes it's listed illness that ends up being knee pain, joint pain, something of that matter. It's not always viral illness or they're not feeling well. Sometimes it's because of pain, and they just say the word illness. It's hard to figure out which is which sometimes. All right, we do have some really good news. As you know, maybe you don't know, maybe you're from another country. The United States government has reopened. With that is slowly coming the return of CDC data. Now, I did have a chance to take a look at it. If you're a Patreon member, actually, if I made a free post over there, which is usually what I do anyhow. But if you've been to my Patreon page before, it's in the description down below. I made a post there with 2 pictures that we did at least get the epidemic status. We have something else. We'll get to that in a moment. Epidemic status map is back. And the majority of the country, aside from the northern plains where there was no data for whatever reason, majority of the country is now growing status for flu. So flu, it's now in growing status in the majority of states. It's really going to take off soon because Thanksgiving's coming, which is a huge virus super spreader. And also, some parts of the country are starting to see increases for COVID for growing status. I believe Pennsylvania was one of them. We'll show that map tomorrow. We'll show both of those tomorrow when we go through all the dashboards. We have a lot of stuff to take a look at tomorrow on the virus update. Tomorrow's Sunday's virus update. Yeah, it's going over 20 minutes. I'm just telling you that right now. We do not have CDC wastewater data yet. That is coming back next Friday. They wanted time to review the data. I get it. It's a lot of data that they have to go through. It was a long shutdown here. Now, we do have some data from CJS. I'm going to read this off to you. And first off, I have to give you, tell you that these are totals now. Cumulative totals going back to September through November. Let me read this to you. Cumulative COVID hospitalization counts from the week of September 21st through the 27th to November 2nd through November 8th, as reported by the CDC. And these counts, again, these are totals for the entire period. This is from data from CJS 83172. First off, Alabama, 490 COVID hospitalizations for the week of November 2nd through November 8th. They just had 45. So the most recent week was 45. Arizona, 625 total. The most recent week is 71. So a lot of these, there's going to have the most recent week being the second number. Arkansas, 215 hospitalizations. Most recent week, 21. California, would you believe it? During the whole entire, I forget how many days the shutdown was. During that whole entire period, 4,875 COVID hospitalizations. That's a lot. That's during the law. That's bad. 358 in the most recent week. Colorado, 373, 30 of them being the most recent week. Connecticut, 391, 47 the most recent week. Florida, 2,614, again, during the law. The most recent week's 203. Georgia, 592. Most recent week, 61. Illinois, 944. Most recent week, 120. I do believe that most recent week number is probably showing signs that Illinois is starting to increase for COVID. Indiana, 580. Again, I think they're starting to increase for COVID. 87 most recent week. Kentucky, 449. 53 the most recent week. Louisiana, 392. 36 the most recent week. Maryland, 378. 38 of them the most recent week. Massachusetts, 835. 87 of them are the most recent week. Michigan, 793. 79 the most recent week. Minnesota, 354. 21 of them are the most recent week. Missouri, 461. 55 of them are the most recent week. New Jersey, 1,203. 116 of them are the most recent week. I don't know if it's increasing there because, again, over 1,000, that's a big number. New York, this is a big number. During the law, 2,500. 217 of them are the most recent week. North Carolina, 1,363. 102 of them are the most recent weeks. Mind you, when I'm saying this is during the law, some of this in the beginning of the shutdown was still coming down from relatively high numbers. Ohio, 1,134, 136 of them in the most recent week. Oregon, 608, only 33 of them in the most recent week. So that shows that they're pretty low right now. Pennsylvania, whoa, this is bad in my state. My goodness, 2,299. Mind you, we have somewhere around 12 million population, but it's a number. We're just constantly bad here in Pennsylvania. 244 of them the most recent weekend. We haven't had Thanksgiving yet. Oh my goodness, terrible. South Carolina, 581, 47 the most recent week. Again, these are hospitalizations for COVID. Tennessee, 655, 81 the most recent week. Texas, 2,159, 181 the most recent week. Virginia, 572, 41 the most recent week. Washington, 843, 50 the most recent week. And Wisconsin, 528 with 55 hospitalizations in the most recent week. National COVID hospitalization count over the past 7 weeks as reported by the CDC. Get ready, it's a big number. 33,342 hospitalizations, 3,064 for the week of November 2nd through the 8th. Yeah, 33,000 hospitalizations during the shutdown, 3,000 the most recent week, all when we were told, oh, the pandemic's over with, COVID's no big deal anymore. Yeah, well, during the course of that shutdown, 33,000 plus people were hospitalized for COVID still. Yeah, I don't think COVID's over with. It's never going to be over with. What we can hope does not happen, we get another pandemic of some sort. Is that bird flu? Is that some other virus? I can't answer that question. If you enjoyed today's Out in the Wild virus update, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, share this video with anyone you know, leave your comments down below. Ways to support the channel, such as Patreon, which I mentioned, are listed down below. For me and my headache medicine, which I'm going to take when I get home, that's when I'll do the hydration break. I forgot to bring water out here with me. Just pretend we're doing a hydration break right now. Pretend. I promise you, I'm going to have a hydration break and probably eat something with this too when I get home, because you should probably eat something when you take medication like this. Alrighty, folks, I will see you all again tomorrow. Until I see you again tomorrow, stay safe, everyone. I hope you have a better afternoon than me, and I will see you again next time. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon. Thanks for watching.